U.S. Secretary of State has told Pakistan it must do more to target militants hiding in its territory. Hillary Clinton made a surprise visit to the country amid a breakdown in trust between Washington and Islamabad in the wake of the death of Osama Bin Laden. For more on this story, I'm joined by Pepe Escobar, correspondent for the Asian Times. Thanks for joining us. So former Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf has called the U.S. raid on Bin Laden an act of war. Hillary Clinton said that relations between the two countries had reached a turning point. What do you think is next for U.S.-Pakistani relations?
Look, whatever they say in the U.S., in the State Department, all those absolutely freak congressmen in the U.S., like let's, cut our deals with Pakistan, or they are practically inciting the Navy SEALs to go to Pakistan and bomb it. So the thing is, it's all about trucks and tankers. This is something that we don't usually associate to the war in Afghanistan. The war in Afghanistan will stall tomorrow if the U.S. does not have access to transportation routes in Pakistan. So this is how it works. Everything that needs to go to Kabul has to go through Pakistan via the Khyber Pass. And everything that needs to go to Kandahar has to go through Shaman, which is the Balochistan border in Pakistan. And all those goods and all this equipment and all this military equipment arrives in Karachi. It's loaded on trucks. So then we have a daily convoy of 200, even 400 trucks and tankers every day going to Torkham or to Chaman. So if you start antagonizing the Pakistani leadership this way, the way the Americans are doing at the moment, sooner or later you have no Afghan war to speak of, even if you want to disengage from Afghanistan. So it's counterproductive from the American point of view. They have an alternative route that goes from Latvia to Uzbekistan. It's 3,000 kilometers, and it does not allow military transportation as well. So we can say bluntly that the Americans are hostage of the Pakistanis if they need to solve the Afghan war.
But at the same time, while the U.S. is dependent on Pakistan as a transit route into Afghanistan, at the same time, there are experts who accuse Pakistan of playing both sides here. They say that Pakistan is under the table also working with the Taliban and possibly with al-Qaeda. So that puts the U.S. in a very sensitive situation, doesn't it?
No, it's absolutely right. Look, all of us who have, followed Pakistan all these years, we know that the ISI keeps contacts with all strands of the Taliban, the Afghan Taliban, the Tehrik Taliban in Pakistan, the Haqqani network, the Masood tribes in the Waziristan. They have been contacting these people for decades. They know where they are, they know where the leaders are. And of course, I would say not all of the ISI, but some elements of the ISI, especially Pashtuns, they knew where Osama was all this time. The thing is, there was a gag order. You cannot tell us. At the end, and I've been talking with my Pakistani contacts for weeks about that, someone in the middle ranks of the ISI probably said, look, now it's time to get rid of him. And then there was obviously an okay from the higher echelons of the ISI and from the Pakistani military establishment as well. So they keep playing this cat and mouse game, and everybody knows they play, the Americans, both sides. The thing is, the only thing that matters for Washington is the war on terror. They don't care how Pakistan is governed. They don't care if there's tremendous social inequality in the country. They don't care that basically Pakistan is a country ruled by 50 families, and it's always been like that. So it's only about, okay, we give you 1.3, $1.5 billion a year, and you kill all the bad guys for us. It doesn't work like that. It's not a real... It's not a relationship between almost equals, I would say. It's a satrapy relationship. We order you what to do. And the Pakistani establishment now is saying, well, we're fed up with it.
But because Pakistan gets so much military aid cash from the U.S. because of its role in the war on terror, do you think that there is an incentive on their part to keep the fighting going?
The thing is, there is an incentive because the Pakistani military establishment, they need this $1.3 billion a year, of course. And don't forget that the Pakistani military intelligence establishment. It's basically a country of its own. It's like the American military-industrial complex, which works practically outside of the sphere, the civilian sphere of the country. The thing is, Pakistan needs to develop. Even the military and the ISI know that. For that, they need investment. The Americans are not going to Pakistan in terms of productive investment. On the other hand, China is doing that. So as much as the Pakistani establishment is antagonized by the US, China is over there. They have a 60-year-old strategic relationship. Next month, probably, Pakistan is going to become a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is roughly the equivalent of NATO in Asia. So the trade ties, diplomatic ties, and military ties are closer and closer between China and Pakistan. And maybe one day we're going to see, I would say, an absolutely radical split between Islamabad and Washington. They say, look, okay, if you want to antagonize it like us, forget about it. We can deal with our neighbors.
All right, we have to leave it there. Pepe Escobar, correspondent for Asia Times, thanks for joining us.